Looking for the best in authentic Maltese cuisine? Then you need to dine at Georgie's on Vista. Situated in the heart of Fraser Rise, you can't go wrong when it comes to family dining. We have a menu for mum and dad, one for the kids, and one for seniors. Everyone's taken care of. Don't miss our specialty nights. Tuesday night is Parma night, where you get to choose from not one, but 5 different Parmas. Wednesday night, kids eat free with every paying adult meal. Thursday night is Members Night, where members get the chance to win some great prizes. And Friday night, join us for happy hour between 5:30pm to 7:30pm. Jim, Johnny, Jack and their little brother Schooner are only $5 each. Looking to get an early start Friday afternoon for a punt? Our sports bar with TAB is open from 3pm Friday afternoons. To book your table, email info@georgiesonvista.com.au. Bring the family and come dine at Georgie's on Vista, 46 City Vista Court, Fraser Rise, Plumpton. Guzman Finance, Point Cook's professional and trusted mortgage broker. Using the latest technology powered by Australian Finance Group, their lender panel has over 30 institutions, including the major banks. Andreas, the director at Guzman Finance, is an ethical and experienced mortgage broker and has helped hundreds of customers navigate the competitive and ever-changing mortgage landscape to find the right loan for them. The company's values are grounded in the principles of integrity and reliability. For you, this means ethical, responsible lending from a family business you can trust. Whether you're in the market for your first home, refinancing, renovating, or buying an investment property, they have access to hundreds of loans from a host of Australia's leading lenders. Guzman Finance will do the hard work for you to make sure you get the right loan for your circumstances. They manage the process from start to finish. Contact Andreas on 0425 826 055 or visit their website at guzmanfinance.smartonline.com.au.
Good evening and a very, very warm welcome to you wherever you may be. Welcome to the Football Out West show. It is episode 55 indeed here on the Football Out West show. Boy, we've got a big show for you tonight. It's Friday night football, Friday night preview football. And my name is Tonci Prusak. I'm one half of the Football Out West team and the other half is Craig Filer, and we seem to be having some issues, as in we're not able to get Craig. He was here a minute ago. He could be making a late appearance after last Friday's big guest. But no, he joins us now on the show. Craig, you there?
I am, Tonch. How are you? Good evening, listeners.
We can hear you, but we just can't see you. But wait a minute, he's there. How are you, mate? How's things?
All right, mate. Yeah, good. Thank you. Long day today, busy day. Lots going on. Bit of a hectic week. Had obviously a busy weekend last week. A very sore head on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, and had a couple of days up in Sydney, which was nice. And back into it.
Oh, nice, mate. Nice. Well, it has been a big week. Lots happening on the football field. As we speak. Things getting, a big weekend ahead as well. Mate, you're going to be dashing out of here very, very soon at about 6:45. What's on the cards tonight, mate?
Yeah, I've got to head up to Green Gully Reserve for the big Melbourne derby between Green Gully and Melbourne Knights, which myself and one of our co-hosts, Steve Curtin, are commentating on. So really looking forward to that. Should be a fantastic game. Should be a great crowd because the weather's lovely this evening. So, yeah, got to dash off about 6:45 and head off and get ready for the game.
Yeah, no, fantastic game. That will be the big Western Suburbs derby. Now, we've got two great guests It might be the battle of the Western Suburbs Giants. Well, it might also be a case of the battle of the Steves, because two Steves will be joining us. The head coach of Green Gully, Steve Downs, will be joining us roughly around about 20 past the hour at about 6:20. And then straight after him, the Melbourne Knights head coach and a rookie in the NPL this year, none other than Steve Bebic. And both those guys are doing extremely well at the moment. Both those teams in the upper tier, if you like, of the first tier.
Yeah.
But mate, we've got quite a fair bit of news to get through as well. So we might even just step away from the desk for the time being, and I'll get the news desk ready. We'll see you shortly, Craig.
Perfect.
Don't go away, guys. We'll be right back straight after this show. But before we do go ahead, just a quick note. Our episode sponsor tonight is Guzman Finance. If anything that you need as far as your mortgage is concerned, Guzman Finance is the man for you. Don't go away. You're tuning into the Football Out West show. It is indeed episode 55. Craig, over to you, mate. Let's talk about all the latest news. And geez, there seems to be a lot happening at the moment, isn't there?
There is, Tonci. Where do you want to start this evening?
Well, Melbourne Victory's new coach.
Yeah.
He's been doing the rounds of not the A-League, but Europe, and he's back. That he sort of seems to be moving all around, but Tony Popovic has been officially announced as the new head coach of Melbourne Victory. Thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, I don't think it was a secret that the club wanted Tony Popovic at the club. So it's no surprise. I suppose the surprise is that he doesn't start till next season. I suppose that's the only surprise, and the other surprise is they've given it to Steve Keane until the end of the season. Again, that doesn't make particular good sense to me, because Brebner and the club brought him in to work alongside Brebner. Brebner's had the boot, and Steve Keane has got the job. So look, I think it's a good appointment for the club. Look, it is his third club in 6 years, I think it is, here in Australia. But I think it's probably the best appointment for what's available for the club at the moment. Having said that, Tonci, I do feel sorry for Grant Brebner. So I'll give you my thoughts on that. Whilst it's good that you've got Popovic coming in, I do feel sorry for Brebner. He was given the reins last season at the sort of tail end of the season. He didn't want the job. He felt that he had to take the job because he'd been at the club for a long time. And obviously now he's been made a bit of a scapegoat, in my opinion, and unfortunately shown the door. And I think it's been very unfortunate for him, because I don't think, he's to blame. I think there's a lot of things going on at that football club behind the scenes that maybe others know. Maybe they want to come on and share their thoughts on it. But I think there's a lot going on behind that club that we don't know.
You there?
I am, yep.
Oh, you just cut out on us for a second, yep. So
which part did you get up to?
About problems at the club with Grant Brebner and what you're not. Actually, I think it's me tonight. I reckon I'm having problems with my internet.
Yeah, mine's full here, mate. So it's not me. I pay enough bloody for it now after the last. But just going back to Brebner for those that didn't hear me, perhaps then I do feel he's been left a bit of a scapegoat, if I'm honest, Tonci.
Yeah.
He took the job when he didn't want the job. He bledded a lot of young kids last year. He bought in Steve Keane and a number of players. Now, we know from various sources that maybe it's not the coach that brings the players in, and I think he's been dealt a pretty poor deck of cards, if I'm honest. And I feel for him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, mate. Let's go straight away to the NPL. So we're going to go through the NPL results first up of last week very, very briefly, and then we'll go through the ladder, and then we'll look at some of the fixtures as well. But very quickly, Melbourne Knights defeated Altona Magic, as you can see there, 2-1 in a thriller last Friday night. Other games that involved Western Suburbs teams, Green Gully drew with then bottom side Dandenong City 1-1. St Albans lost to South Melbourne 2-0. And that's the pick of the bunch there. And the ladder, mate, let's go through the ladder now.
Yeah, ladder's looking pretty good for Western football clubs. South Melbourne sitting at the top there. They've had a good start the season. They've got Dandenong City tonight down to Dandenong. So you'd like to probably say that's a 3-pointer for them. Tonight's game, 4-3 sixth. Knights could go second for the evening if they defeat Green Gully at Green Gully Reserve. But of course, Green Gully are pretty strong at home. So that's the ladders. The ladders, I suppose, where it is a couple of teams there that not worry me, but a little bit. I didn't think they'd be where they are. Would be Hume City, and certainly Dandenong City. You wouldn't have expected to be at the bottom of the pile.
No, as you mentioned tonight, Green Gully taking on Melbourne Knights. A victory for the Knights will propel them into probably the top 2, top 3. Yeah. Gully needs a win, as you can see. 8 p.m. all the action kicks off at Green Gully Reserve. Mate, we'll find out all about from both camps, all the latest info from the both camps. But the other games happening there tonight.
Yeah, Dandenong City, as I said, taking on South Melbourne. Kick-off at 8:30 down at the Frank Holland Soccer Complex. Dandenong City desperate for a win against the current league leaders. That'll be a tough game for them down there. And Oakley Cannons taking on Eastern Lions down at Jack Edwards Reserve again with another 8:30 kickoff.
Tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m, Avondale hosting Dandenong Thunder. And also across town at the Olympic Village, Heidelberg United taking on the Port Melbourne Sharks. And then later that evening, we've got 2 cracker games, Craig.
Yeah, Hume City taking on St Albans. St Albans needing, both teams actually needing to secure 3 points there. And then you have Altona Magic, who the merry-go-round circus that is Altona Magic, taking on Bentley Green. So that'll be another tough game for Magic, with all the goings on that's going on in that club at the moment. It must be a very, very difficult place to want to play your football.
Oh, absolutely, that's for sure. Now let's quickly move along to the NPL 2.
And obviously, for those that don't know, that Nick Kovacevic, he left the club on Friday night after the game against Melbourne Knights. Yeah. So he's no longer at the club, and I believe his assistant is taking over for tomorrow's games. So watch this space with Altona Magic. It seems to be certainly, like I said, a bit of a merry-go-round there at the moment, and as I said, it must be a very hard place to play your football. Yeah.
Now, turning our attention to NPL 2, Craig, there's the ladder. Let's go through some of the teams that are, I guess, that particularly interesting to us Westerners.
Yeah, look, North Geelong, probably the team in that one that we look at, sat in fifth place, undefeated so far, but have drawn 3 of their 4 games. Last weekend they travelled up to Moreland City and came away with a 1-1 draw, 1-0 up. In the first half, 1-1, and then unfortunately I had Anthony Banovac, the inspirational centre-back, sent off for a second yellow, and had to play the remaining 42 minutes, I think it was, with 10 men, but came away with again another tough 1 point for them. So look, they're not conceding, they're not losing games, but need to win 1 or 2 of these now.
Okay. And the fixtures in NPL 2, Craig. So Moreland Zebras home to Manningham United Blues. Brunswick City at home to Goulburn Valley Suns. The big one down at Alco Park, a comment or 2 about North Geelong Warriors and their game against the Bulleen Lions.
Yeah, look, I think they've got just about everybody back in frame for positions, with the exception of, as I said, Anthony Banovac, who's injured. But I think everybody else is back in contention. So some difficult decisions for the coaching team to make tomorrow. But Bulleen Lions down there in 10th place will be certainly coming to Elco Park, looking for a result tomorrow to lift their season for sure.
Werribee City have got a tough away game. They travel to John Cain Reserve, and taking on Northcote City. Northcote City are a very, very tough side at home, and they've been plastering all over the social media photos of John Cain Reserve. The pitch looks absolutely fantastic,
I think it's
doesn't
the first game there for a long time. They've spent a bit of money on doing the ground up there. It was never the best pitch. You got a fantastic stand and a terrible pitch. So hopefully now, combined with a fantastic stand and a good pitch, that they'll do okay in there. That'll be another tough game for both sides. Werribee coming off a fantastic 3-1 win away at Llanwarren last week, which nobody would have anticipated with Llanwarren winning their first 3 games. But fair play to Werribee.
Yeah. Llanwarren at home to Moreland City, and Kingston City taking on Pascoe Vale there at the Grange, making up NPL 2. If we move to the NPL 3 ladder, at the top, it's just one team that is absolutely in flying form at the moment, Preston Lions.
Yeah, they go from strength to strength, 4 out of 4. Goal difference of plus 13. They've got a big game tomorrow. Tonci, they're at home to their close visitors, North Sunshine Eagles tomorrow. So that'll be one hell of a game. Notice that South North Sunshine have banned all supporters from attending the game after obviously the disturbances of last weekend against Springvale White Eagles. So well done to North Sunshine there. I think it's the right move. Preston go from looking for 5 out of 5 tomorrow afternoon at Gina Stadium.
Yeah, Springvale White Eagles taking on Doveton City. That's on tonight, in fact. Ballarat City hosting Western United's under-21 team, or the youth team there. That's at Moorshead Park Stadium. A very important game for both teams, I guess. But Western United have been doing quite well. They're in 4th position, but Ballarat City only a draw and 3 losses from their opening 4 games. They need a victory, and if they ever needed a victory, it's this game at home to Western United.
Yeah, look, it's always going to be difficult for Ballarat, Tonci. They've made no secret that they want to they want to develop the youngsters there, and kudos for them for doing that. I know there's not a lot of money at the club, and they're doing the best with what they've got as a regional club. We know how hard it is for regional clubs to make a go of it.
Yeah.
So look, they're putting their best foot forward, mate, and hopefully they'll get their win, because it's a great club with great facilities and some good people at that club. So, but Western United, as you said, doing well. 2 wins out of their 4 games. Sat there in 4th place. That's a tough old league, that state league, national Premier League 3. So they're doing well.
Yeah, indeed. Nunawading City at home to Melbourne Victory. Box Hill United taking on Melbourne City. And in another game, I guess that involves the Western Suburbs team, Geelong SC taking on Whittlesea Rangers. Now, an interesting thing about the Geelong game, not so much the senior game, but you mentioned off air about a great achievement down at Stead Park with one of the club's talented youngsters.
Yeah, fair play. Thanks for reminding me, Tonci. Young Josh Mickak, who I've had the pleasure of coaching and spending 10 days with in the UK a few years back. I think he's under 16s, so he's actually only 15 years old, and he's been selected to start for the under 21s tomorrow. So very best of luck to you, Josh. Go and smash it, mate, and I'm sure you will. But great news for Josh and his family.
Yeah, so the main game there at Stead Park tomorrow kicks off at 5:30, and the curtain raiser, the under-21s, they'll be in action, I think, from about 3:30 onwards. So quite a memorable day there for the Mikats family in Geelong. Mate, that brings us up to the end of our NPL wrap. You're going to try and, if you can, jump off at the moment and get our first guest for the show on. In the meantime, we've got an advert. We want to listen to a message from one of our sponsors. Don't go away.
Guzman Finance, Point Cook. Guzman Finance.
Welcome back to the Football Out West show. Apologies there. We seem to have some problems with the technology. I think it's the internet playing up tonight. It seems that it was freezing. So thank you to Santina for letting us know about that. Hopefully a bit later on we'll play that ad. Again, Guzman Finance. For all your mortgage broking needs, contact Andreas Guzman. Now, Craig, have we got our first guest on tonight?
Well, it's not looking good with technology issues in Lara, but hopefully Steve's on the line and he can hear us loud and clear.
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the Football Out West show. Thank you for joining us. We know you've got a game on tonight, and it's always hard for a coach to come on before the game, but we really, really do appreciate you taking some time out. Mate, let's get down straight to the game, the nitty-gritty. Who are the ins and who are the outs for the Gully team tonight? Are we able to announce on here what the lineup is?
I think in an hour and 15 minutes, you'll probably see that.
Great answer. I knew that was coming. So, I'll start off with a proper question for you, Steve.
Thanks, Craig.
Obviously, that's all right, Tonci. How's your season going so far, mate? Obviously, a big game, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But how's the season going for yourself and the boys there this year?
Yeah, I think. Well, it all flowed from the pre-season, really, and started really positively and really well. And then just, a couple of just instances, really. It's been instances, and I think it's all tied into the whole league. A little bit of inconsistency, and then that brings in a little bit of confidence issues. But for the most part, we're going well.
And you certainly got the boys playing football. I know I've watched a few games on the NPL Victoria platform here. I sat here with my lad Morgan a few weeks ago, and he was very complimentary of how the boys were playing. So credit to you for that. And obviously tonight you've got it's a big game. At any time in the season, but obviously you at home tonight against the Knights, big local derby, big crowd expected, great evening for it. What's your expectations tonight? What's your thoughts on how the game will pan out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really difficult game. I think no Knights team since I've been in the country has ever really performed badly, without the ball. And what Steve and Diogo have done this year have brought a football element side, both positive offensively and defensively. So it's going to be a really difficult game, but one that we're looking forward to. And like you say, it's under lights, and there should be a bit of water on the pitch, so it should make for a good game. Perfect.
Now we're watching some highlights from last week's game, Steve, against Dandenong City. A tough game at the end of the day, 1-1, and I guess that probably illustrates the point that it's certainly a tough league this year. A lot of teams that at the wrong end of the table, I suppose, could quite easily be at the other end. So, how do you go preparing for these games? Do you really try and get the lads that they don't take anything for granted, and that each game is going to be just as tough as the previous one?
Yeah, I think that's been definitely one. Definitely this season, that the league has become closest that I've ever seen it. Like I say, back before, since I've been in this country, anyone can beat anyone on any day. But yeah, you should never be, going into a game of football, thinking that, irrespective of their position, that you're gonna, if you turn out, the same manner every week and apply yourself in the right manner, and if you're accountable in both ends, then the result will generally go your way.
Now, just on something you touched on there, Steve, about it's probably the best, or the best it's been since you've been in the country. What do you put that down to? Do you put it down to the fact that a lot of the players that are in that league now are probably, with the exception of some, are sort of homegrown players, and the lack of international players being allowed into the fold as allowed Australian or local players to step into that environment? So there's not clubs going out and sort of getting boys from or players from abroad is what I'm trying to say. Is that the reason for it?
I mean, I think it's hard to put your finger on the actual reason why that has, but, it clearly is the closest and most competitive that I've seen it. To give a definitive of why I believe that is, I'm not sure. I think the level of the just youth in general has become a lot more technical, which is obviously is a driver in, the more experienced or the ones in the middle group have to improve their level, and it's not just, a turn up and compete. It's actually you've got to be good both with the ball and without the ball. I think, there are definitely elements to why. But to actually put my finger on, I'm not 100% without giving it more thought.
Yeah, and one of the players that you have got into the club this year is a player that's very well known to the Green Gully. He's had some time over in Europe. Is Luke Jago, who's come back into the club after a few years away. How's he performing for you, and how's he settled back into the club?
Yeah, Luke's doing really well. I mean, the energy that he brings, and obviously Luke's got a lot of quality also. I mean, I knew Luke before he went overseas, and he's been a real good signing. And he's just getting to know the boys, and the patterns that we want. So he's learning the environment and what we're wanting from him. And I only expect bigger and better things because the kid's got a lot of quality.
Yeah, Steve, we've gone maybe a third of the way through the season or thereabouts, a quarter of the way over the season. So I guess you've probably got a fair indication of most of the other teams and the clubs. Who, in your opinion, is the front runner for the championship this year, or shall we say, who is the danger team or danger teams?
Well, I mean, you can only go on what is at the top of the table at the minute. Like, I don't, you look any further than that, and you're basically looking at squads and saying they should be doing better. You can only go on who are doing it week in, week out at the minute. So the boys, and will include tonight's opponent in that, brought a level of consistency along with South and Avondale. Heidelberg have found that consistency, and that's why they're holding the top 4 spots at the minute. So I would look no further than them, but we're definitely wanting to be in and amongst that group, and we're wanting to be there come the end.
Yeah, well, certainly 3 points this evening will put you back into that top 4, Steve. So it'll. I'm really looking forward to a cracking game. I'm heading up. I'm heading up shortly. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one tonight. So look, we'll let you get off and get your team prepared, mate. I know it's not easy coming on air hour and a half before kickoff. So wish you all the best tonight. Might bump into each other for a chat later on, but good luck with the game, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Good luck, Steve.
Thanks again, lads.
All right, thanks very much, Steve.
All the very best for tonight and for the season. Good on you. That was Steve Downs, the head coach of the Green Gully Soccer Club, and thank you very much to him for joining us. Now, Craig, we're going to take a bit of a break. When we return, hopefully we'll have the other Steve joining us, his counterpart from the Melbourne Knights, that is first-year coach Steve Bebic. So, folks, don't go away. We will be back very, very shortly. When we do return, as we said, we will have Steve Bebic, the coach of the Melbourne Knights, joining us.
Hands for Hire is a free platform that connects people looking for more work in their downtime, and also businesses who want to list jobs on a casual basis. Are you finding that you have spare time and could actually be earning extra money? Or do you need a hand on a casual basis and don't want to employ a full-time worker? Hands for Hire is the app to help you fill that time yourself without paying huge fees to recruiting agents or labour hire companies. Signing up is completely free, without any obligation.
Are you opening a new business or want to improve your current exposure to drive more customers? Then talk to our team at Principal Signs. We have over 30 years' experience of helping businesses like yours stand out from the crowd. We can design, manufacture and install a range of signs, either permanent or temporary, at an affordable price without compromising on quality. A signage supplier with a reliable reputation. You can trust the team at Principal Signs to ensure that you make the best decision for your business and your budget. We're passionate about giving you a standout experience in customer service and ensure that we exceed your expectations every time. For more information, find us on Facebook or check out our testimonials and work examples on www.principalsigns.com.au or call Ray on 0406 728873 for a quote. Mention this ad for a 10% discount off your first order.
Welcome back to the Football Out West show. We're racing through tonight because Craig has to leave a little bit earlier tonight at 6:45 because he's got a big game that he has to call, along with our co-host and regular on this show, Steve Curtin. Craig, it's going to be an awesome game up at Green Gully Reserve, kicking off at 8 o'clock. We've heard from one Steve Downs, the head coach of Green Gully. Do we have the other Steve Bebic from the Melbourne Knights on the line?
How are we, boys? Tonci and Craig.
Steve. How are you, Steve? Long time no hear. How are you, mate?
Good. Very well at the moment. It's a beautiful night for football tonight. Not too much wind out here, and the pitch is in immaculate shape. So looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, me too, mate. I can't wait to get up there and see this one because it's a big game. As we said, in the top half of the NPL Victoria, and two teams that are doing relatively well. Fantastic night for football, as you say. Pitch is superb, and a local derby to boot. Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Definitely doesn't.
So how have you guys prepared this week, Steve? We'll just touch on obviously tonight's game because that's important. After last week, I had the presence of commentating your game last week against Altona Magic, and I know we spoke briefly yesterday. Must have been a very pleasing but frustrating night for you and your coaching team last Friday against Magic.
Yeah, obviously it was a bit like that. Pleased to get the result, 3 points. But obviously the amount of chances we had, obviously we thought we could have been a few more. But nonetheless, we're more than happy with the overall performance of the boys against Magic. I thought the opportunities we're creating, and it's not just against Magic, but in the last probably 4 weeks, there have been some great opportunities, and that's the most important thing from my perspective, is that we're actually creating those chances. So, yeah, all good from that end. Yeah,
and obviously just from my side as well, you've become very tight at the back. A very structured, organised back four who all know their jobs, and then obviously through the midfield you've got some pace, and then up front obviously my fellow Welshman Alan Webb has been putting the goals in. We're just watching last week's game on the screen here, and obviously Trevor in the middle of the park as well is doing a great job for you. So I just touched on Alan Webb there. How's he? Is he back in the full for this evening, or is his injury just 1 week too soon?
Yeah, just pretty much the latter. 1 week too soon. He'll be right. Should be back involved full training probably on Sunday onwards, and should be right for next week.
Yeah. Now, mate, you were a tough, uncompromising defender back in your playing day. And as Craig just mentioned now, the back line seems to be very well structured and very well organised throughout. Is that something that you've intentionally tried to implement into the Knights? Because, look, in seasons gone by, the Knights did have somewhat of a leaky defence at times.
Yeah, look, obviously, I think it's something what every coach intends to do when they take over a team, is get the organisation right.
You don't concede goals, you've got a chance of winning, haven't you? So
yeah, that's right. And it's in every moment of the game we want to be good. It's not just one moment or one phase of the game. So there's been sort of a clear focus and a clear strategy from the first day I took over to now, and we continue to build in every phase of the game. So yeah, you can't win games if you've got poor defence and unorganised structures, then you can't win games if you don't score goals as well. So you've got to be good in every moment.
Yeah, so we're just looking at the table here now, and obviously sat in fourth place, opportunity to go second to this evening for potentially the weekend, for certainly until tomorrow. So it's a big game for the club. Where do you see the issues that are going to arise from a good Green Gully side tonight, or is that to be kept quiet?
Oh, look, you think I've watched a few Green Gully matches, and I think quality all over the park. So they're a real good ball playing team. They look to play through the thirds. They're real comfortable in possession. So this is going to be, I think, a great test for our young groups, and just to see sort of where we're at and so they're a bit of a benchmark, I think, in the league in terms of how they play with the ball, them and Avondale especially. And we want to play sort of a similar brand of football. So it'll be a real good test. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
So I got two questions left, Tonci, and then you can crack
your life.
So we're just looking on screen here, and we're just looking at the penalty at the last minute of the game. I got two questions for you. Lockie Weir tells me he set up that goal by running 30 yards and playing a ball with his right foot. Yeah, is he allowed to take that? Yeah, okay, we'll give him that one. And was it a penalty?
From my angle, definitely was.
Definitely was.
I think the referee popped a little bit of slack, but I think it was in my line as well. I thought my initial reaction was definitely a penalty, but then when I watched it over from that camera angle, as much as I saw it, the way he came in and sort of took him out. So spoken
like a true coach, mate. You'll take it in the street.
That's right. Look, that's how the season goes. Fans out, you get your calls going your way, and others won't, and sort of all levels out at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we've got a couple of big games for the Knights. Obviously, tonight's game against Gully. I think next Friday night, then it's the big Croatian derby against Dandenong City, who are struggling at the moment. But as we saw last week, they held Gully to a 1-1 draw. So some big games there. But wedged somewhere in between all of that is a massive FFA Cup game against the old rivals, the old foes, the team that we all love to beat. If you're a Knights supporter, and that is South Melbourne. How hard is it to keep all the players' mind on the job at hand without getting too carried away about what's happening around the corner?
No, look, I don't think it's too hard at all. I don't think I've even actually mentioned the South Melbourne game as of yet. So, look, South Melbourne's going to be a big game. It's obviously a traditional derby. They're probably our biggest rivals in the league. No doubt they are our biggest rivals in the league. And at the end of the day, in that FFA Cup format, if you want to go through to around the 32, you end up playing these types of teams anyway. So might as well get it done nice and early and see what happens after that. So and I think we actually have them in the league on Friday as well. So we've got them on Tuesday, then on Friday. So
there you go.
For that week's end, I think.
Yeah, certainly it's almost, and I saw your sister club North Geelong post something up earlier on about almost being professional this week with a game
midweek
tonight or the weekend, and then another one midweek, and then another one next week. So 3 games in 7 days is that's what football is, isn't it, Steve? That's what you want as a footballer, isn't it?
Yeah, the boys they all love playing matches. They don't like training so much, so give them a match with they'll be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what they play for, obviously. And cup matches, especially, the intensity of those FFA Cup games and the lure of actually, making around 32, potentially playing an A-League game. That's massive for these boys. And gives them that exposure down the track, hopefully, and probably a springboard for a lot of them to take that next step in terms of their own careers. So definitely something to look forward to.
Well, we're certainly loving having football, and certainly Friday night football under lights is absolutely what's the best way to start the weekend off, and we certainly wish you all the very best, both in tonight's game and for the rest of the season. Steve, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to maybe having you on the show later on in the season as well.
Perfect. Look forward to it, boys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, all the best tonight, Steve. Might catch up with you later.
Done.
Thanks, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good on you. That was Steve Bebic, the first-year coach at the Melbourne Knights. He's certainly creating waves in his first year. Now, mate, you got to jump off very, very quickly. But before we do that, we've got one ad. When we come back, a major announcement that you'll be making regarding this show, folks. Don't go away. And stay tuned to what is going to be a massive announcement.
Looking for a venue for your next event? Our function room at George's on Vista is the perfect place for your next special celebration. That special birthday or anniversary, a baptism, communion or confirmation? Whatever the celebration, we can provide a fun and enjoyable atmosphere with great food. Why not hold your next corporate event in our function room? We can seat up to 100 people and can provide you with a professional environment. Whether you're looking to hold a stand-up or sit-down event, we can cater to your needs. We have meal plans and platters for you to choose from. For more information, send an email to info@georgesonvista.com.au. There's no better place out west to hold your next function than at George's on Vista, 46 City Vista Court, Fraser Rise, Plumpton.
Welcome back to the Football Out West show. It is great to be back. It is episode 55. We are having all sorts of audio issues tonight, I'm being told, and I don't know what it is exactly, but the internet connection has been woeful tonight, and I can see that people are having all sorts of problems tonight. So, mate, hopefully people can hear us, but Craig, we've got a big announcement to be made.
Yeah, we have, Tonci. I'm not sure it's a massive one, but it's certainly one that's going to, I think, benefit everybody. And we've had a number of our loyal listeners come to us over the last couple of weeks and said they love the show, but they really find Friday nights is a struggle. We've just talked about there being 5 NPL games on a Friday night. So we've made the decision for the better of the show. And obviously to encourage more of our loyal listeners to be able to follow us and get involved, that we're now going to move the show to a Sunday evening slot to the end of the season, starting at 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening from next weekend. So this will be the last Friday night a show that we'll have. And the Football Out West will now become a Sunday show where we'll talk about, post game. We'll still have coaches and players involved, but we'll be talking about the game from the weekend rather than the game coming up. But we do have something else that myself and Tonci are working on that will hopefully help us going forward as well. And we'll announce that over the next couple of weeks.
That we will, mate. Thank you very much for being a part of tonight's show.
Yeah, thanks.
As always, you're going to head off. Really,
yeah, I'm going to get up to Green Gully and get set up for this game. And as I said, guys, if you want to watch a great game of football tonight, tune into NPL Victoria Facebook page, and the game will be live streamed on that. Sit back in your living room, get a beer out, get the popcorn out, and stick it on the big screen. No better way of spending your Friday evening. Listen to the dulcet tones of Craig Filer and Tonci Prusha and Steve
Curtin. I won't be there, but will be good. All right, Craig, all the very, very best. Take care, mate, and we'll speak to you soon.
Good man. Thanks, guys.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Craig has left the building. He has had to go, as we said, very, very quickly. And that's one of the reasons as well, just the availabilities of not just people listening, tuning into the show, but it's also the problems that we are having as far as our own availability as well. So that makes things a little bit difficult. Big cheerio out to Guzman Finance. They are tonight's episode sponsor, and a massive, massive shout out to our major sponsor for 2021, and that is George's on Vista or the George Cross Football Club. Folks, we're going to go very, very quickly now through some of the remaining games. So we're going to quickly look at some of the let's look at, first of all, the State League. So we're going to go on and look at the State League 1 ladder. So there we go, the State League 1 ladder. Speaking of our major sponsor, Caroline Springs George Cross, they are currently on top of the ladder. They are 2 points clear of second place Brimbank Stallions, and then there's a fair bit of a gap there, although Essendon Royals and Whittlesea United, according to that ladder there, have some games up their sleeves. So some of the games happening tomorrow. Brimbank Stallions taking on Sydenham Park. That's an important game. Another one, Essendon Royals at home to Corio. So big game for Essendon Royals if they want to keep up with the leaders there. Caroline Springs travels across town to Clifton Hill. They will be aiming to keep their unbeaten record intact. and that's going to be a big game, that one there. And Whittlesea United also at home to Fitzroy City. Moving along to the State League 2 ladder, Strathmore, FC Strathmore, the newly promoted Strathmore, they have done exceptionally well. They've done incredibly well since being promoted to State League 2. And they so far have managed 4 games and 4 wins. Western Suburbs in second spot. And then Hoppers Crossing in third. Big game for Hoppers Crossing this weekend. The so-called big, it's the British Derby, if you like, against Geelong Rangers. That's taking place at Myers Reserve in Geelong tomorrow at 3 p.m. There are some of the other games in that division. Moreland United taking on Epping City. Altona East at home to Albion Rovers. Mill Park at home to Laylaw United. Western Suburbs at home to Hume United. And Strathmore at home to Westgate. A big game there. Very, very important game there. Westgate are fourth. Strathmore are first. So both those teams will be looking to do exceptionally well. Now, if we move along to the NPL, so the NPL W ladder, South Melbourne on top after 2 games. Now, the only Western Suburban team, I guess, in that competition, Calder United, last week they had their colours lowered to South Melbourne, big top-of-the-table clash. South Melbourne defeating Calder United 3-2 at the Keilor Park Recreation Reserve. We'll go through some of the fixtures this weekend. Alamein at home to Heidelberg United. Bayside United at home to Calder United. South Melbourne taking on the Football Victoria emerging side, and Bulleen Lions taking on Box Hill United. So Bayside at the moment in second last spot, Calder in fourth spot. So a big game there for the Calder United team. Now, Victorian Premier League Women's, the season kicked off last weekend, and there are the results. Preston Lions defeated the Casey Comets quite easily, 3-0. Melbourne Knights, unfortunately, went down to South Yarra 1-4. Melbourne University also went down to Southern United 1-0. Geelong Galaxy, they had their colours lowered to Whitehorse United, a very slick Whitehorse United, 3-1. And big news out of Galaxy United camp today, the senior players have agreed to play 2 games on the one day, so they will be fronting up for the reserves, and then they will be immediately after that donning the Galaxy strip and pulling on the boots in the senior game. The reason being is that Galaxy have been unable to attract enough players to field a reserves team. And if they don't field a reserves team, then they will basically be booted out of the competition. So an incredibly noble decision there by the Galaxy United players to play 2 games in the one day. To keep up that pathway available to elite players in Geelong. And there's obviously quite a fair bit of drama there, I suppose, behind the scenes, and I'm sure watch this space, we'll find out more information about that. However, this game, the Galaxy United game tomorrow, so we'll go through some of the fixtures tomorrow. Galaxy United are at home to Southern United tomorrow night at 7:45 p.m. That game is going to be streamed live on the Galaxy United Facebook page. So 7:45 p.m. tomorrow night from Stead Park. And yours truly will be calling that game. And possibly we may also be having Craig Filer as a special guest co-commentator. Melbourne Knights are at home to the Burundara Carey Eagles on Sunday, Anzac Day at 1 p.m. And there are some of the other games there as well. And although it's only round 1, Burundara Eagles, South Yarra, Preston Lions, Whitehorse United and Southern United are occupying joint top spot.
Looking for the best? Looking for the best in authentic Maltese cuisine? Then you need to dine at Georgie's on Vista. Situated in the heart of Fraser Rise, you can't go wrong when it comes to family dining. We have a menu for mum and dad, one for the kids, and one for seniors. Everyone's taken care of. Don't miss our specialty nights. Tuesday night is Parma night, where you get to choose from not one, but 5 different Parmas. Wednesday night, kids eat free with every paying adult meal. Thursday night is Members Night, where members get the chance to win some great prizes. And Friday night, join us for happy hour between 5:30pm to 7:30pm. Jim, Johnny, Jack and their little brother Schooner are only $5 each. Looking to get an early start Friday afternoon for a punt? Our sports bar with TAB is open from 3pm Friday afternoons. To book your table, email info@georgiesonvista.com.au. Bring the family and come dine at Georgie's on Vista, 46 City Vista Court, Fraser Rise, Plumpton.